Habarigani, man, doing a dada. This is your brother, your elder, W.E.B, also known as by the slave name, John Brinson. I know we detest reading, but let me share this with you before we get started. Books are keys to wisdom's treasure. Books are paths that upward lead. Books are gates to lands of pleasure. Books are friends. Come, let us read. I want to impress you with the importance of reading. Reading. Books are the greatest treasures in my life. Books. That's where you get your wisdom from. That's where you get your knowledge from. That's where you get historical facts from. That's what causes you to do critical thinking and analyzation of what's going on. Now, this is our granddaddy of scholars, Dr. W.E.B. DuBois, in his book, The World and Africa, that I want to share an excerpt from you so that you can get an understanding of what we have been through and why we have been through it and are still going through it. You see, my brothers and sisters, the beginning of our plight began in our enslavement. Now let us start from the beginning by understanding why slavery was necessary for the rise of capitalism and the industrial world. You see, my brothers and sisters, there were two major economic empires from the 15th to the present day. One was the Cotton Empire. The Cotton Empire was developed and grew out of the chattel enslavement of blacks in what is known as the Black Belt in the United States of America, or the Cotton Belt. The other empire was the Sugar Empire. This empire grew up out of enslavement in South America, Trinidad, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Haiti, and throughout the Caribbean islands. These empires were manifested, controlled by Europeans, primarily Christian Europeans. Now, our granddaddy of scholars, Dr. W.E.B. DuBois, he claims in his writings that, let me quote what he says here. Let me begin it right here. This is what he has to say, and he uses a quotation from a British Protestant Christian, William Howard, from a book called Colonization and Christianity, written in 1838. Quote, "The barbarities and desperate outrages of the so-called Christian race throughout every region of the world and upon every people that they have been able to subdue are not to be paralleled by those of any other race, however fierce, however untaught, and however reckless of mercy, of shame, in any age of the earth," unquote. Now here's what he has to say in this excerpt. Out of this tragic past, the Nigerians of today march largely innocent and ignorant of the significance of what has happened to them. They've never been conquered by Europeans, but through bribery and deceptions were so manipulated by the British Empire as to regard the British mainly as benefactors. Nigerians, through the lore of their fathers, look back on a mighty past. They remember the empire of the sun gave. When in the early 16th century, the black Muhammad Paskia ruled an empire as large as all of Europe. And as the Arab Chronicle says, quote, there reigned everywhere great plenty and absolute peace, unquote. Their university of Sankora was a world center of learning among the people of the Mediterranean. What happened? European traders came to barter with trading people in spices and gold. Domestic slaves furnished labor and gradually became themselves material for labor captured in Spain and Portugal, long decimated by war. Then in America came a wider demand for labor, promising fabulous wealth. Britain, starting with the white indentured servants, seized and dominated a vast and profitable black slave trade. Africa lost 100 million souls during the middle of the 16th to the middle of the 19th century. Slave raids became tribal wars, and slave labor changed the face of commerce and industry in Europe. Industrial revolution built a new world based on wealth in private hands. Whence came this wealth? Karl Marx tells us the discovery of gold and silver in America, the extirpation, enslavement, and entombment in mines of the aboriginal population, the beginning of the conquest and looting of the East Indies, and turning of Africa into a warring for the commercial hunting of black skins, signalized the rosy dawn of the era of capitalist production. Unquote. In a second from Dr. W.E.B. DuBois' book, Magnum Opus, The World and Africa. Now, brothers and sisters, we must put aside our disdain for reading and start reading relevant books, especially those provided by our scholarly ancestors. Now, brothers and sisters, please, I beg you, pick up a book and read it. It will lead you to the path of your liberation. Once again, y'all, my brothers, peace and hotep to you. All right.